Welcome back. All right, we here, man. Welcome back. Again, this is Streams. And today we're going to do a particularly special episode of Stream. Today, we're celebrating the release of my compilation album, Babylon 23, Rise and Fall. It was supposed to be out on the 31st of January, but they kind of screwed me over when I uploaded the album. I'll just explain this just so people understand that it wasn't my doing that made it not come out the day that I said it would. Well, actually, it was supposed to come out January 1st, and I screwed up. So I can explain that first, right? So the album was supposed to come out on the 1st. This is a compilation album of all my favorite music from the year 2023 that I recorded, mixed, edited, produced, whatever it was, some sort of way I had some sort of involvement in the creation of these songs. I chose all my favorite songs, 20 of my favorite songs, plus one of my own that was also one of my favorites. So 21 songs in total. And it was supposed to come out on the 1st of January 2024. I did not understand how much of an undertaking it would be to curate this and organize this and choose between all of these songs. So I started sometime in November, I believe. And I'm not sure if I quite understood the task that I was giving myself. I started in November when I got this idea to curate this. And I sat down in November. Or no, you know what? No, I didn't. I sat down in November and I started with the idea, but I didn't start curating the playlist until maybe December. I might be wrong on that. I might have started in November. But the reason I'm saying it might have been December is because everyone had up till December to come in and record or get songs mixed, and those songs would be considered up till December. Going back, so my time frame, it's almost like a fiscal year. It's all the best music from 2023, but I go from December to December. Or I did this year, but it might change. And I do that because the cutoff can be December, and then I can start curating the album and work on the album through December and be done by January 1st, right? Because it has to come out January 1st. I can't stop the submissions on December 31st because then I'll have to do, it'll be too late by then. Then the album will have to be delayed. But I cut the submissions off December 1st, and then I started curating the album. And I didn't realize how long and how hard it would be, especially with me being decisive. I should have known. Indecisive. I'm very indecisive. But I finally narrowed it down, and by the time I was done narrowing it down and deciding what was going to go on the album, and then deciding the order, doing the song order for an album is an art all in itself. What song goes good next to this song? What song sounds good fading out and then fading in together? What song makes sense tonally or mood-wise next to each other on this project? How do I, when I curate my own albums, when I do the track listing for my own albums, I usually go based off of mood and sound and also messaging. Will this message make sense next to this one? Will this song, the beat, the tone of my voice, the sound of the mix sound good being next to this one on the album? And after toiling with the track list for several weeks, I finally figured out, for my albums, it's a little easier because it's not as many songs. This is 21 songs. I knew what my intro and outro would be. Off rip, I already knew that. But that's 19 songs in between that I have to figure out what goes next and what comes after that and what comes after that. But I finally did it. It took me much longer than a month and a half that I gave myself from the middle of November to January 1st. So here we are, the end of January, beginning of February. and the album is finally coming out. It took me so long. I've been riding with this music day in and day out, just trying to make sure that I made the right choices. I took some songs out and put them back in. I had a whole process that I went through: finalists, semifinalists, immediate dismissals. You know what I'm saying? I went through hundreds of songs that I worked on. Hundreds of songs. I went through them by hand on this computer, and I went through every artist folder because I have all my music separated by artists. Went through all of their music individually for days, just choosing songs. And I think I narrowed it down initially to like 60, 70 songs. And then I had to go through those 60 and 70 songs, and I was like, how am I going to decide what goes and what doesn't? And what I went with was the same way that I determine if a song in general is special to me. When I turn it on or I hear it in general, does it give me that feeling, like that undeniable, it touches something in the pit of my stomach, the core of my soul, my heart. It makes me feel like I need this song. When this song comes on, does it make me feel like I cannot turn this off? It makes me feel good to hear it. Or I can't wait until it gets to that part of the song that I love. Whatever it is, whatever the feeling is, it has to be an undeniable one, right? And admittedly, there was a lot of songs in this list that did make me feel that way. But then once I narrowed it down to maybe, I think it was 35 songs, I dwindled the initial 60, 70 down to. And then I started deciding, okay, which one makes the feeling more intense for me? Which one do I turn on that make me go, wow, like, I love this song and I cannot do without this song. You know, believe it or not, plenty of my artists make music like that. I don't lead on while we're in the studio because it's really not my place to do that, you know. So a lot of times my artists have no idea how I feel about their music, but that's why I like the idea of doing this compilation album, because it's an opportunity for me to give my artists flowers. It's an opportunity for me to show off my curation skills. It's an opportunity for me to display my artists to my other artists that might not even know each other exists, and maybe open up opportunities for you guys to get acquainted, work together, blah, blah, blah. But here we are. I narrowed it down to 20, and then I added a +1 for my own song because I did not want to take a slot from someone, and we are here. Today, we are talking about the release of Babylon 23, Rise and Fall. And again, the Rise and Fall, I chose that name for this particular year. Every year is going to have a different subtitle name. This year is Rise and Fall because I felt like, for a bunch of personal reasons that we do not have to discuss, that is what this year has felt like for me. It felt like a rise to glory and a fall from grace. And all the emotions and actions that take place in between. At one point this year, I felt like I was on the top of the world. And then at some point this year, I felt like I was on the bottom of that same world. Just to be honest, right now I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm good. But that last year was an emotional roller coaster for me. It was a professional roller coaster. It was a personal roller coaster. If I'm just being totally honest. So I chose it that. So it's like I'm embedding some of my own personal DNA into this project, my own personal experience into this project, while it consists of everyone else's music. It is still through my lens and my experience that I curated this project. I use you guys' music to convey what I feel, what helped me through the year, what made me feel good when I heard the song, or whatever it was, whatever the criteria for your song making it. I use my personal experience, the lens that I look through every day as this human being that I am, to curate your album. So I named the project after my own experience. And that's another thing that got some people eliminated. Some of the songs are great songs, but some of the songs did not fit the tone of the album by the time it was pretty much done being curated. Like, yes, this is a good song. I love this song, but it doesn't necessarily fit the rest of the songs. And as a curator, as a person that has worked on many albums in my career, many, dozens of albums in my career, dozens and dozens of albums, I made the better judgment call to eliminate certain songs from the rotation because they just didn't fit sonically or they didn't fit tonally. But here we are, man. No more over-explaining, no more long speeches. Well, no more long speeches before we get to the music, because I'm certainly going to make a lot of long speeches about these songs, even though I gave myself limited time for each individual song. I don't know how I'm about to do this. I have a general skeleton, format in my mind. I don't know if I'm going to adhere to it or not, but we are here nonetheless. This is Babylon 23. These are the finalists. All right, so I'm gonna play the songs because I want them to be in the video. I want everybody to be able to hear the song in this video, but it's only going to be small portions of the song. You'll have to go hear the rest on the actual streaming sites, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google Music, or whatever it's called, YouTube Music, whatever. It might be on Amazon, Deezer. I'm sure it's on Amazon. Wherever you listen to music, it's going to be there. Tidal, all over the place. And I'm going to explain my thought process behind choosing these songs and my relationship with the songs, what made me like the song so much, whatever comes up out of my mind and out of my mouth about this song, I want you guys to understand it. And at the end of this video, we're going to do some honorable mentions. The first song up on the list, though, the intro to the tape, which is a very important piece to me on all of my projects, even my own projects. The intro is extremely, extremely important because it sets the tone. Of course, it's like first impressions, what the first thing that you run into upon opening this door to this album. And I chose Can't Give Up by Ro, one of my artists that I just recently started working with last year. I think I started working with him shortly after the summer or maybe during the summer. He had found me somehow. I don't remember even how he found out about me or my studio, but he hit me up, wanted to book a session, and we booked it for the future. And then coincidentally, we run into each other coming out of the DSO building downtown on Woodward. I was walking out with my date. He's behind me with his daughter, and he said, "Red?" And I turned around and said, "What up?" And I didn't know him. I didn't recognize him at first, and then I realized, like, oh, you the dude that just hit me up on TikTok the other day saying you wanted to book a session. He's like, "Yep." He's like, "I'm Ro," whatever. We talked for a second, walked to our cars. He goes to separate with his daughter, and then he comes in for his very first session, maybe a couple weeks later. I don't remember how long it was after. But I thought that was very coincidental, and I don't really believe in coincidences either. But topic for another day. But he made Can't Give Up, and I believe it might have been his first session or second session he made this song. So I'm going to play a little bit of it just so you can hear it.
Ton théâtre et ton vide, tes faiblesses et ta fatigue.
My views are similar to what pilot sees. I wanna stay low like we playing hide and seek. Afraid to speak, feeling weak, trying to make it through the week. Fuck this music, might as well just face my defeat. I had to regain my energy, retrain serenity. Quantum physics feeling had to rename it Trinity. Positives and negatives drowning down in this Hennessy. Faded memories controlling my identity. I can't give up, I can't give up, nah, I can't give up. We can't give up, we can't give up, nah, we can't give up. You can't give up, you can't give up, you can't give up. Don't give up, keep going, yeah, we can't give up.
I way
All
good
right,
for my
all right,
dreams.
all right.
And
I'm gonna
then I
stop it
fix
right
my
there.
blunt.
That's about a minute of the song. If you can't tell why I like the song, if you know me, then you already know why the song strikes me as hard as it does. Not only is Ro cold on this song, I like this verse, the message, the way his voice pairs with the music, all of that, I love it, right? But if you know me very deeply, then you understand how I feel about orchestral music. Violin being probably my favorite instrument. It's arguable now because my tastes have changed and I've been exposed to much more music. But historically, violin has been one of my favorite instruments it's because of the emotion that it can invoke, how emotionally it can be played, the way that it can convey sadness, happiness, or whatever in ways that other instruments just cannot. This song has no drums. He's rapping over some sample that I've never heard in my life of just violin and a guitar, and there's probably some cellos and all sorts of shit going on in there. And how ironic is it that me and him met at the Detroit Symphony Orchestra Hall? There's no such thing as coincidences. But this song has so much emotion in it, from the messaging to the music that he's rapping over, the bed of music that he's rapping on. It's so dope, bro. I don't know what else to say. He's saying you can't give up. And the reason why this song has to go first is because tonally, it's a beautiful way to open up an album, if you ask me. When he did his album, 27, The Growth, right? He does not put Can't Give Up in the intro. When we were finishing up mixing this album, one of his last sessions that he did, we went down the track list and we sequenced it out, laid it all out, did the transitions and mastered the album, right? And finished it. And then we all sat in this room, me, him, Shamari, Quarter, sat here and listened to the album front to back. And when he told me he was not putting that song as the intro, I said, bro, what the fuck? You're not putting this as the intro? And he like, no, he wanted this other song to go. I'm like, well, you know, I don't push artists, and I don't try to make them feel like they're making the wrong decision, because there is no such thing. It's music. It's an art. Your creativity, the way you see things, is going to be different than the way I see things. And I'm not going to shame him or make him feel bad. So I just left it alone, like, bro, I'm like, nigga, you tripping for not putting this first. On my album, I made up for it by putting his song first, because that is an amazing way to bring somebody into an album. It's dramatic, it's emotional, and the message is strong as fuck. It doesn't get more simple than that. You can't give up. Keep going. As a person that's been doing music for 22 years, 23 years. Do you know how many times I wanted to quit doing this shit? As a human being that is living a life that is filled with suffering, doubt, ups and downs, death, life, opportunities lost, opportunities capitalized. Do you know how many times I wanted to give up on this shit that we call life? I'm still here, though. I think I rode my bike listening to this song, because it's one of those types of songs. It's inspirational. That's the intro. I just wanted to say superb job to you, man, and thank you for allowing me to include your song on my project. I think this song is one of the most important pieces of this album because of everything that I just explained. The way that it opens up the album almost dictated the rest of the album, and you didn't even know that, Ro. Your song dictated the rest of the album, my nigga. So I appreciate you. Thank you for letting me include your song. All right, the next song on the list is a song called Cinema by Dan Dada. I'm going to play a little bit of it.
I want people with me, you know? Always.
MJ.
I could hit them up, but I don't react to the cinema. I know they just acting and I just been clutching and actually having the feeling of I like to nip shit right in the bud. I handle problems that's big enough. I handle problems that's big enough. I handle problems that's big enough. I roll out the ounces that big enough. Taking the car, what you picking up? I set the bar real high, don't trip. You can stand on my shoulders and lift it up. Left you some problems to figure out, but I know they went the whole different route. Damn, I know niggas went the whole time. I left you some problems to figure out. Know they went the whole other route. People went the whole other way, but I don't trip cause my brother still been around. Using the side that we in and out. I'm chillin' with bro and we been in the corner where niggas was sliding and spinning out. I'm waking up vibes all on the couch. I started to ask you a question, but then I got thankful what God was sending out. I know what people gon' do for the clout. Gon' do for the time. Know what shit.
Alright, that was a minute of it. I'm gonna stop it right there. This song, put very simply, is just some smooth ass shit. The beat that he chose, man, this nigga Dan, I just started working with Dan Daughter like maybe 4 months ago. Maybe. It might not even been that. It might have been September that we and him started working together. I got to look it up. But one thing that I noticed about him very early on, I think this might have been the first session he did too, or second session, one of the two. Very early on, and he's only ever been here like 4 or 5 times or something like that, if that. So he came in at the very end of the year and got a slot on the album because I like his music that much. The funny thing is, though, I had worked with him. Well, I was going to say one of the earliest things that I noticed about him is that his ear for beats, his ear for production is very good. Some artists just have that, or, it's all opinionated, it's all subjective anyway, but my opinion of him as a person that is very knee-deep in music, I'm shoulder-deep in this shit, I feel like he has a very, very good ear for beats, right? But the funny thing is, even though I've only been physically working with him in this studio for maybe 3-4 months, is that another artist that made it on this album twice, actually, Art Carter, had gotten a song mix, and he had a feature on it. And I remember this feature very vividly because the way that he raps was very distinctive. It was very unique. His ad-libs, he says I instead of A, or whatever niggas say, he say I, like I. He says it all the time. So I remember mixing this song with this feature on it. I didn't know the artist. I do that all the time. I mix songs for some of my artists and they have features from people I've never met. They might have got verses sent to them or whatever it is. They might have recorded at another studio. And I remember this because his ad-libs and the tone of his voice and all of that was distinctive. But not only that, he was a great rapper. So I remembered it, right? So when he finally hit me up on his own and booked a session and he comes in, he never throws any names around. He just comes in and works. And while he's rapping, I'm like, why does his voice and his ad-libs sound so familiar? So when he's leaving, I think he's playing me another song that he did or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, you the nigga that was featured on the Art song that I mixed earlier this year or last year. He like, yep, that's me. And then I had called him, as a matter of fact. That's what it was. We had left the studio from after we finished our session, and I'm driving like, I'm listening to the shit we did in this session, which might have been this song. And I'm like, I call him like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, you was on that Art song. He like, hell yeah. But just to get to the point, man, Dan, a new artist, I don't know him very well, so I don't have stories with him. He's a cool nigga, solid nigga. He come in, he's straightforward, pay me on time. He don't be trying to get me to run around, which is very important to me. He acts like a grown man. He's a father, and he seems like a very proud and happy father because he talks about his son all the time. In the intro of his song, he says, I got my people with me, always. And he says that in the intro of damn near every song. At the end of this song, he said, I chill with my son right after I'm done. Hey, he makes it into like a little chant hook type of thing. As a father and as a black man, to see a younger nigga who is a father and a black man be proud of and find a way to make art out of being a father and still don't sound corny, sound dope still, that is very important to me. I respect this nigga a lot. I ain't never even told him this to this extent at least. But I respect this nigga a lot, and I look up to him even though he is younger than me because he is a father that is happy to be a father who is also trying to find a way to do what he loves doing, making it through this life just like the rest of us. I look up to all my artists, and a lot of my artists look up to me. It's a mutual thing. You know what I'm saying? I look up to them whether they know it or not because you all inspire me, and y'all are the reason why I keep doing this shit, especially the ones that, you know, that are really, really good at this shit because it gives me a bar to reach up to. I feel like my own personal music didn't become as good as it is now until I got in this studio and started seeing how good all of you are. You know what I'm saying? Dan is one of those people. Salute, my nigga. I appreciate you for allowing me to include your song. I look forward to working with you some more this year, my nigga. All right. The next song just happens to be by Art Carter, which is I was just telling a story about. Dan was, as far as I know, Dan was referred to the studio by Art Carter, my nigga Art. This nigga about 6'4", 6'5", big tall ass. Nigga might even be taller than that. The nigga say he's 6'6" or some shit. Nigga just walk in the studio, just towering over shit. Got a duck through the door and shit, bumping his head and knocking all my shit off the ceiling and all that type of shit. My nigga Art, man, that's my nigga, man. Been working with him for maybe a couple years now. Our relationship started, I think he got introduced by Camila, maybe, one of my other artists. I don't remember how he got in here, but when he came in, he came with Ghost 404, which is the nigga that did the cover art for this album. We're going to talk about that later, too. But they usually come in the studio together, Art and Ghost. Camila and Art also used to come in, and they were doing collabs and shit. I think they did 2 songs in here together. But my relationship with Art started initially mostly being him recording music at home and sending it to me to get mixed. Until one day, I told that nigga, hey, man, your microphone is ass, my nigga. You need to start recording in here or somewhere or get you a new microphone. I text that nigga that, like your microphone is not necessarily the best. And I just had to be real with him because his music is so dope. He was sending in music, but it was like his vocals were super thin. And just to be honest, with the tone of his voice, he has a very, I won't say he has a very high-pitched voice. I don't know how to explain it. His voice is not very bass heavy though. It's like he has a very thin voice. It's not a high-pitched voice. He actually has a deep voice, but it's like everybody has a different tone to their voice because you have a deeper registered voice, but it can also be a thin voice, you know, on the tone side. So I recognize this as an engineer because I have to be conscious of this when recording and mixing artists. The way their voice sounds dictates everything. Some artists are extremely easy to mix. Some artists are extremely easy to mix because of the tone of their voice. Some artists are very difficult to mix. Art is one of those artists. He's very difficult to mix. His voice is very unique, and it's hard to get it to sit in the mix right. I figured it out, and that's why y'all need to stick with one engineer or a couple engineers maybe, because your engineer does get familiar with your voice, my nigga. That's a thing. Just like anything else. When you find a coach, a workout coach, a basketball coach, or whatever it is, a motherfucker to do your taxes, you need to establish relationships because familiarity is a thing that makes the process more efficient, whatever, you know, however you want to put it. Me and Art been working together for a couple years, maybe a year and a half, 2 years now, getting his songs mixed, coming in and recording. He finally listened to me, and he started coming to the studio and record when he can. And it wasn't just a ploy to get more money out of you, nigga. I was serious about what I said. He sounds better on my microphone than he does at the one he has at home. And our working relationship has gotten better because of that. But anyway, this song in particular, Dim the Fucking Lights. This song, man. So one day, when we recorded this song, I believe we recorded this song in here. This song went on a project that Ghost and Art did together. The album was called For You, the EP, right? I'm gonna show you what it looked like on my phone. For You, the EP. And Ghost 44 actually did this cover as well. The same dude that did the cover for this album, the Babylon album, he did this as well. But they did For You, and Dim the Lights is actually the intro of this project. When we did this song, I'm a big fan of guitar, obviously. This guitar is like it's soulful. It's mixed with these vocals that just sound so haunting and emotional. It sounds like, I don't know, like a Baptist gospel group or something. Like, let me play a little bit of it.
You drive me crazy. You drive me crazy.
What the fuck?
You drive me, yeah. You drive me, you know it's crazy. You pull the best out of me when I'm feeling drained and lazy. Like, no matter how heavy the weight, I'm willing to take it from you. Yeah, from you. Oh, you got me falling. I'm a rehab musician, alcoholic. With some ways that ain't right, I can't call quits. Shit, I thought I had it all figured out, and then you walked in that tight outfit. Hey girl, what it do? I noticed you don't let too many close to you. She said, well, ain't that the way it's supposed to be? I can't disagree. You one of a kind, and can I offer you a drink? Baby, time ain't by our side, so I decided I should speak. What's your name and what's your sign? Mind if I sit beside you? I'm busy on my biggie, baby, trying to hypnotize you. Weren't really sure if you could trust me. I don't trust you either. See, you like gas and I'm a spark, but that makes fucking fire. I ain't trying to just one night there. Honestly, I'm scared. I like you got that shit that's hard to find. Ooh. I ain't trying to just one night there. Honestly, I'm scared. I like you got that shit that's hard to find. Ooh, hey, you should come through. I dim the lights, but I'm just trying to set the mood. I got the weed, I got the drinks, I got the shrooms. Time fly when I'm staring at you. Hey, you should come through. I dim the lights, but I'm just trying to set the mood. I got the weed, I got the drinks, I got the shrooms. Time fly when I'm staring at you. Shit, I feel paralyzed.
My nigga.
I know your ex owes you more than a paralyzed.
When I tell you, so just as for full transparency, music very much so has the ability to draw tears from me. I have an emotional connection to music. I'm not just listening to rap. It's spiritual for me. When I listen to some shit like that, hearing that song come out of these big speakers in this room, the way that I mixed that motherfucker, I'ma just be honest. The way that I mixed it, on top of the way that this nigga performed it, oh my God. That is masterful, top tier shit. I don't give a fuck what you say. Okay, I got a whole diatribe to go on about this song. Jesus Christ. That was spiritual for me. It sends chills through my body. Not all songs, not even every song on this album does that to me. But it's something about this song, that production, that the production is a large part of it. Art did not make the beat. But the thing that seals the deal is the way that the artist uses the beat. The way that they choose to use their voice in comparison to the beat, in conjunction with the beat, is very important. And that is something that takes mastery, skill, experience. He's not on this song yelling, because he has songs where he's louder and he has a different tone because of it. On this song, he chilling. Baby, you should come through. I dim the lights and I'm just trying to set the mood. He chilling. That takes mastery to figure out when to have a softer touch, when to pull back a little bit. Then to pair it up with the fact that this nigga Ghost is in the intro randomly singing and echoing his words and sentiments in the background. That's why I had to play more than just a minute of the song, my nigga, because I needed you to hear the intro, the verse, and that hook. I told this nigga Art this many times. I'm riding through Chandler Park, going to my sister's and my nephew's house. And I'm riding through, I'm coming up, whatever the fuck that is, Chandler Drive or whatever the fuck that is, to get to Connor. As I'm going through the park, this song is on. And I call this nigga like, man, I have to talk to this nigga right now. I have to talk to him. Because that's another good thing that I have in my benefit is that I get to actually reach out and touch and talk to the people that make these songs that I'm such a big fan of, as opposed to, I ain't never talked to Tupac. I can't call DMX. I ain't never talked to Jay-Z or Nas. I love their music, but they not talking to me. I'm a huge fan of these people, and their numbers is in my phone. And I could call them and have a conversation with them. Or I could go out with them, invite them to my parties, and they'll show up. I love being an engineer for that very reason. But anyway, I calls this nigga. I call him. He say, hello, or what up, Red, or whatever he say. I don't say shit. I just start rapping his verse. I think it was this song that I'm talking about, but if it ain't, fuck it, we just gonna act like it is. I started rapping the verse or whatever it was. And then he started rapping it with me. We laughing and shit. But I'm like, my nigga, I just had to call you and tell you I appreciate you and I fucks with you. And you are super good at this music shit. And you better not fucking stop. And that was my call. And anybody that knows me or been recorded with me, if I fuck with you on that level, then you know that to be true because I've done it to several artists. I'll call just to show my love, give flowers, show my respect, and tell you that you got it, whether you know it or not. Because a lot of artists, I know as an artist, we are born with self-doubt. That is something that is destined for us to feel. We doubt our process. We doubt our ability. We doubt our value. We doubt each individual song we doubt. So I do my part in calling niggas and just letting them know, hey man, you that nigga for real. This song, the production with those fucking Negro spiritual harmonies in the background, whatever's going on back there, that guitar, them drums, the way this producer, I don't know who produced this song because he bought the beat. I have no relationship. I'm sorry, I have no relationship with the producer, but this might be my favorite song on this album. If it's not my favorite, it's probably top 3 from this 21 songs on this album. That's all I'm gonna say, my nigga. Ghost, Art, y'all did y'all motherfucking thing on this song. It's a goddamn shame that you put this bitch out unmixed on your own album. And I hit him up about that too. Like, nigga, you better start getting your shit mixed because this mixed version, I'm sorry, is killing y'all unmixed version. But I'm glad I got to do the honors of putting it out on my project mix. I appreciate you for letting me do that too, man. I appreciate you for letting me put you on this album twice. Both of y'all. Ghost is on this album twice because he's on this song and he has his own song on this album. And Art is on here with his 2 of his songs on here. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. All right. This next song is a song called Maximum Pressure by my nigga Seven Jones. Seven. Let me start off by telling you, I have a lot of respect for you too. You done told me some wild shit in here about some of the things that I ain't gonna talk about that you going through. And you talk about some of this shit in your music, so it's not like really a secret, but I'm still not gonna talk about it. You a wild boy for sure, man, but I got a lot of respect for you too. I never told you this, you know, it is not much to it, but I just, when you come around, I fuck with your energy. I don't ever feel like you judging. I don't feel like you a snake. I fuck with your energy. You seem like a straight up and down nigga, you know. And I can recognize that shit in people. And I value it because I'm raised by a nigga who ran these streets. And because of that, I was introduced to a certain cloth of niggas, man. And you are very reminiscent of that feeling when, you know, you seem like a solid nigga. You don't be on no bullshit. I don't know you very, very well, but you pay me on time. You done been in here with your kids. I value all of that shit. And all of that goes into my selection process too. The way that I feel about y'all goes into how I feel about your music too. Just, you know, that's just the truth. It's real, you know, because y'all feel the same way about your favorite artists in the industry. If you find out an artist on some bullshit or they done something fucked up, look at the way that we disassociated with R. Kelly. We love the music, but we don't love the nigga. So it down there make you be like, damn, that song, as good as that song is, I don't even fuck with that song no more. Same way I feel about music I record in here. Because unfortunately, I recorded some dope songs with some people I don't fuck with at all. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is supposed to be positive. The next song is a song called Maximum Pressure by my nigga Seven Jones. Put out the Pressure Mix Volume 1. What's the release date? February 21, 2023. I mixed this whole project, front to back, and the nigga let me sequence the album, not sequence the songs, but he let me do the... So I'll explain. On this album, I believe he has his uncle, I believe it was your uncle, my nigga, I can't remember, record a series of voice memos, like voice notes, right? Talking in between the song. You're going to hear it in the intro of the song when I play it. He sent me, we finished mixing the album. He had the order of the songs. What is it? 7 songs on here? I told him when we did this album that this is probably one of the best albums I've ever worked on in my career. This nigga can rap his ass off, but this is another nigga with a really super good ear for beats, right? But he's one of those artists that got metaphors for your ass, and he'd crack you over the head with them bitches. But he sends me these voice memos of his uncle just talking shit about pressure, the word pressure, because that's his thing. Seven Jones be saying pressure, that's his ad-lib. Named his album Pressure Mix, and this song is called Maximum Pressure. So his uncle just talking shit. He sent me these bitches and was like, you just put them wherever you think they should go. So I'm like, bet. I don't even do that shit for people because I don't be giving a fuck. Like, that's your job to do that, to be honest. As the artist, that's your job to figure all that out. That ain't my job. But because I fuck with him and this album so tough, I didn't even give this nigga no pushback because I wanted to be like, nigga, that costs extra. I ain't say shit, though. I took it and I did it because I fuck with this album so much that I wanted to be a part of it in that way. Like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I put my fingerprints on this motherfucker, too. Not only did I mix it, but I chose where these samples go on his album. The intros of the songs, outros of the songs, how they transition from one song to the other. He let me do that. And to me, there's another salute because you trusted me enough and you allowed me to be a part of something that's obviously very important to you, my nigga. But here go the song. I'm gonna play it right off your motherfucking Apple.
See, this what I'm talking about. This what I'm motherfucking talking about. This nigga's applying motherfucking pressure. He ain't talking shit. He ain't in these bitches' face. He glowing like that Bruce Leroy glow. He getting his motherfucking money and he's applying motherfucking pressure,
nigga. Section 7, nigga. La Familia. Pedal to the metal with the metal on my lap. I was tripping up to 7, burning tires off a back. Man, you know this shit is pressure. I'm blowing through the roof. I'm fucking up my teeth, ashes dropping in the coupe, banging unreleased shit I never drop, but I'm dropping out. The way these niggas follow me, I'm like a prophet now. If we speaking on discussion, I'm the topic now. I heard they growing money trees, let me chop them down. Chopper style with them 223s, they'll knock you down. Barely punching in this bitch, but I'll knock you out. I'm on the way, I just had to take another route. Section 7, pressing all these niggas like the iron out. Took the higher route, save my soul.
You gonna have to go hear the rest of that shit for yourself. This beat, the beat that he chose, is so motherfucking hard. And the way that bass just kicked in, is what gives me chills. This beat got this feeling to it. It sounds very, I don't know, nefarious. This shit seems so ominous. Like, and then this nigga just skating over that motherfucker. Them snares slap. I love mixing songs with snares that sound like that because you could just make them bitches crack through the mix so easy. Like, I just mixed a song by Damasio, who was supposed to be on this album too, but he had to deny me because he got a whole rollout for his album coming, and he didn't want to ruin that, so he couldn't be a part of the album. But he was supposed to be on here 2 times. But anyway, this song is just rap shit. He just rapping for niggas. The beat code, it's really just as simple as that. The fucking drums, the way this producer did his 808s in this bitch, the instrumentation, that snare, and the fact that this nigga got his uncle talking in the intro and the outro of this song just gives it that extra shit. He said La Familia in the intro. That's what I'm rocking right now. La Familia, my nigga D. Rick, is also on this project. We're gonna get to his song later. But yes, this shit is hard as fuck. It's really just that simple. Another thing I like about Seven is his voice is just so perfect for music. He got this, like, everybody's voice is different, right? Everybody's voice is different in very minute ways. I mean, obviously, but I'm saying musically different. His voice has a texture to it. He has a very bottom-heavy voice that's, one, it's very easy to it's very easy to mix his vocals into a song because it just fills the stereo field in a particular way. It's just so easy to mix his vocals. And he has this texture to his voice that almost sound like this nigga smoked cigarettes or something, and it gives his voice this quality. I don't know if he smoked cigarettes or not. I know he been here blowing trees though, but his voice has this texture that it gives it this, it's like this sandpaper sound, like, and it just sounds like the way jazz musicians sound over jazz music. He got a rapper's voice, you know what I'm saying? The same way people be saying about my shit because my voice is so, I don't know, loud and heavy. He has the same thing, just different, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all go listen to the rest of that song. Seven, I appreciate you, my nigga. Thank you. All right. This next song, I can't have too much to say about it because, okay, I'm gonna be honest here. This song is called Video Phone, and it's by an artist named D. Last year, around April, maybe, 2023, April, I got accepted onto this platform called Engineers. It's a platform for engineers, but it's spelled ENGINEEARS, Engineers, right? It's a platform where engineers get on there as people providing services, and artists can get on there as artists and solicit engineers for mixing, mastering, whatever. Dolby surround mixing, all of that type of stuff they offer. I went through the rounds of being selected, interviewed in a way, and vetted to be put on this platform. I had to take a test, like basically by submitting some mixes to get graded. They grade on ABC scale, you know what I'm saying? You get a grade, and the grade that you get determines your tier. I got graded at a B. I honestly believe I'm an A, but the reason I think they make A so hard to get is because when you get graded with an A, you get to mix for industry. Like Def Jam is also Def Jam, Universal, all of these Empire. They scroll that website too, looking for engineers to mix their artists' albums. And one of the artists that hit me up on this platform, his name is D. D, capital D, capital E, capital E, D. That's all I know. He solicited me for a mix. I mixed the song. We never had no communication. I submitted the mix. He accepted the mix. Never heard from him again. right? I like this song so much. I asked everybody on this album for the permission to include this song, Jesus, except him. Because I like this song so much. I mean, I didn't know, you know what? I'm lying. I did ask. I hit him up and asked him something, and he never responded. And I have my theories as to why, but I'll get to that later. First, let me just play a snippet of the song before I continue.
I'm on my body, I can't tell you how I feel. I catch a body and I put that shit on film. Don't tell nobody what you saw when you were here. Don't tell nobody what you saw right here, my dear. Video phone. Video phone. Video phone. Video phone.
I'll stop it there. That song, I mean, if you don't know me, if you haven't been able to notice by now, I like songs, I like music that is very tonally dark. I like very ominous sounding music. Because it has more emotion in it to me. Like, yeah, Pharrell happy song, like, because I'm happy, like, yeah, happy as shit. All right, it's a cool song. But to me, that does nothing for the average person. Sure, you want to be happy, throw the motherfucking Pharrell happy song on. Sure, do your thing. But to be honest, the music that I want to hear the most is shit that sound like that. From R&B songs to, I like songs that are emotional. That's what I like. That's the word of the day, I guess. I like the way that song, that beat, that even his voice, the way his voice sounds over that beat. Sounds. I like the way it makes me feel. But what I was going to say was, he gets the song mix, he disappears. He approves the mix, accepts it, pays me, and he disappears. Never hear anything else. I inbox him and say something to him. He never answers. And I'm like, yo, this song is so cold. And the way that I mixed it, I thought I did an amazing fucking job. I think I'm going to show you the before and after so that you guys can hear what it sounded like before I got to the song. And you could give me your opinion on what you think I offered to the song, if you think I did good or bad. But I never heard nothing else from him, right? And as I'm curating this album, I stumble upon it again because I think I mixed this in like June or something. And I'm like, this song is so cold. I love the way it sounds. I love the simplicity of it. It's very, very minimalistic. It's not a lot of layers. He's not harmonizing. And then the high-pitched sound of his voice with this heavy-ass, dark-ass beat, and the way that I mixed it with all that reverb to make it sound ethereal almost, sounds amazing to me, right? Then, if you listen to the messaging in the song, I was thinking like, dog, I would love to direct a video for this song because it sounds like he's a fucking vampire rapping about having sex with a girl, but he's gonna feed on her while he's fucking her. He says, let me play some more of the song.
Please don't take no pictures when you're with me. Don't you turn on when you saw me naked. I've been mixing Hennessy with everything. I'm off the chain when I be drinking. I can tell you anything and everything if I don't stop this conversation. I can take you back to the room and show you what I do to all my patients. I hope you got what you've been needing, cause I'm leaving soon. You won't believe me if you see me on a full moon. I take a bite out of your life and leave you fiending too. The camera bright so way too loud, I wanna see it too.
I take a bite out of your neck and leave you leaning too, or whatever he said. And then he said something like, don't tell nobody what you saw here, my dear. Like, he's gonna do his thing. He said something about video phone, don't take no pictures. all that type of shit. He's saying like, bitch, like I imagine it's like a vampire singing about having sex and feeding on his victim at the same time. Like if I was directing this video, I would make it like that. Like he's a vampire, but it's like a dual meaning. Like he's feeding on her, but he's fucking her. Take a bite out of your neck. Maybe that's exactly what he meant. You know, but I ain't ever talked to him to find out. But this song, I think is written very well. I think it's performed decently. And I think I mixed this bitch amazingly. Right? So because I hadn't heard from this nigga at all, I was like, I wonder if he put this bitch out, right? So just like a few weeks ago, I Googled it, like, I wonder if he put this bitch out. I Googled his name and Video Phone, the name of the song. And it pops up on Apple Music. So I'm like, oh, he did put it out. And then the release date was just like 2 days before this day that I'm looking it up. He had just put it out like 2-3 days before or something like that. So I'm like, oh shit, he did put it out. So I click it and I come to realize he didn't put up the mix that I did. He put up an alternate mix. And then I see another listing of the song and I click that and it's like the same song, but another mix. So it's like he must have mixed it himself or had somebody else mix it and got it mixed again and then came to me, got it mixed again or something. And he was like not satisfied with any of them or something. I don't know. But he put up the mix. He put up the mix that sounded much worse than mine. Matter of fact, let me just play it. This is my opinion. I'm not trying to be mean. The intro is different. The drums don't slap as hard as my shit.
I'm on my body, I can't tell you how I feel. I catch a body and I put
Man, that shit don't sound as clean as mine. I included this nigga's song even without his permission because I like it that much and I worked on it. I'm sorry if I'm violating anybody by doing that. I fuck with the song very heavily. You need to reconsider and take that fucking mix down, put my shit down. Appreciate you, my nigga. All right. This next song is Fall by my nigga Jaymar. Jaymar Loops is his artist name. Jaymar, Jaymar Loops. This is a song that he did for his album. I believe his album is called Fall Forever. So he put out this album. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see it. My monitor just died on me. He put out this album just a few months ago. He put out November 11th, 11/11/23. But when I was mixing this album, I told him several times, I kept hitting him up. I'm like, bro, this might be the best album that I've ever worked on. This might be number one. If not, it's top 3, something like that. But this album right here, amazing. This is one of the best artists I've ever known. He's a great producer. He's a great writer. The tone of his voice, perfect for music. Let me play this song.
Say you down to slide, but you know we couldn't stick. Time is on my side today, it's right up on my hip. Just know I got it, nigga, tread it lightly with the shit. She call it homicide, the way I'm Thanos with the wrist. Say you down to slide, but you know we couldn't stick. Time is on my side today, it's right up on my hip. Just know I got it. Yeah. I was out east, going west like Denzel. Looking for a bag full of Denzels and Pizzelle tab.
That's 30 seconds of the intro, right? That's not even Jaymar. That's Kazi, who is also from Detroit, I believe, right? He got an intro, a feature from Kazi the Gypsy, on this song. Kazi sounds amazing. I told this nigga, I hit him up, I'm like, bro, who the fuck is this you got featured on this song? Because he didn't have the name on the stems. He like, it's my nigga Kazi. I'm like, where he from? He like, I think he was like, he from Detroit. So I'm like, man, this nigga's like the male Macy Gray. He got this texture to his voice. He sounds like Macy Gray or something. I was telling him, I kept hitting him up. I'm like, bro, this album is amazing. You chose some great production, which I think he did himself mostly, and then, or maybe all of it. And then, I don't know, bro. I don't even know where to go from here. It's like, it's not even rap. It was like this beat was almost like blues. When I mixed this song, I hit him up and I told him, I'm like, bro, I should have been a blues engineer or something because I mixed this song good as fuck. And like, I'm not a blues engineer. I don't record blues music. But you listen to the production.
I pin a tail in your intros. Bro might be a bit abrasive with you, but he meant well. Papa and mama told me keep it up. Both my granny houses, the AC was up. Both your hands is out, you won't receive a son.
It's like old school, like rock, or like what they call rock and roll, like Chuck Berry rock and roll. Like it has that kind of feel to it. It has drums, like real drums, guitar that's distorted, almost sound like a old Western guitar. Like, I don't know the terminology to break all of this stuff down necessarily, but it has a very live band feel, of course, and then it has a bluesy sound. And I distorted some elements in the beat to make it sound more true to that genre. And I wanted to lean into it. Like, shit, if we gonna go there, let's go there. So the way that I mixed it was totally different than I would mix a normal song. Even the way I mixed their vocals to sit in the music was different. Because I wanted to lean into this sound that he's experimenting with or whatever. He's not experimenting, it's just what he's doing. But I want you to hear some of his vocals.
Unlearn the things you learn from wounded people. Keep it transparent, but never let them read you. Think they qualified, but really paralegal. Quick to apologize when they down and need you. So with this music shit, just been my greatest passion. Heart ain't on my sleeve, been my latest fashion. Energy, my fragrance, king of cold reaction. Kill you niggas off, yeah, that's my satisfaction. Whoa, everything potent, I'm in control it. All my opponents, knock them down, verbally toting. X for moting, stitch them up, yeah, the reaper is sowing. I got them folded, on the throne in the crown and I'm holding. Mentally focused, physically I've been thinking the same. Got now and next in the game, top dog and a dog I remain. Should've known that I stay with the flame.
And that's all y'all niggas get, man. This is single-handedly one of the greatest songs I've ever mixed in 20 years of music. This song is single-handedly one of the greatest songs I've ever worked on in my 20 years of music. Next song. Next song we got is Top Floor by my nigga Quarter Key. And technically, my nigga Mike as well. Mike Angelo. They was in here working on this together. We all contribute. The way our sessions go is we all listen here bouncing ideas, determining the flow of the creative process and all of that shit. Even me, because they get me involved. A lot of times I try to keep my mouth closed with most of my clients, but these two niggas in particular are one of the only sets of clients that I have where when they come in here and work on music, it's like it's my music too. Because I've contributed lines. We all just tossing around ideas. I do not do that with 99% of people that I work with because I just don't want to. But with these niggas, we have a different working relationship. They come in here, they do not write beforehand. At least if they do, I don't know. They come in and they freestyle. They do prepare beats, mostly, but they come in and they just freestyle and they come up with songs on the spot. So they'll like Kia go in the booth, mumble some shit, or Micah go in the booth, mumble some shit, and they'll put words to the cadence. The same way Kanye does it, right? I don't even know if they're aware of that. But Kanye and plenty of other artists have been doing that for ages. But they come in, that's their method. They come in, they freestyle, they just say random shit, and then they go back and edit it and change it until they perfect it. This song, I don't even know if they remember making this bitch because they haven't said nothing about it since. But when they made it, I'm like, this shit cold. allow me to play it.
I let go. Don't let me know. Rather smoke. Had to go. Guess I know I'm on the top floor. Top floor. You think that you hot, but I swear that you ain't cold. You think that you love me more when I'm on that road. You tell me that you wanna fuck somebody new, but you ain't know. Top floor. Top floor. I'm a top floor. Top. Palm trees as the seeds, you like the finer things. You know what I do to get between them knees. Everybody else got opinions on me, but you the only one that let me really be free. I ain't gon' control you, girl, I let you lead me. This is what your sister, girl, that's what I need, yeah.
Man, all right. So I'm gonna just stop it there. I don't know if I contributed any lines to this particular song, but I do know this is one of dozens and dozens of songs that they created off the top of their heads, collaborating with each other. Mike usually finds the beats. Key comes in here, and this nigga has the magic voice. It's not like he's the best singer I've ever seen, not even close. But I mean, he's not like a singer. He's like one of those melodic rappers almost, but more singing than rap. You know what I'm saying? Although he raps too, but he just has this quality to him where he just gets in that booth and his voice, it's just something about his voice. It's just so fucking good, and it just makes everything sound better. Like Mike will go in there, freestyle, come up with a line or come up with a hook, and then he'd be like, well, like I like that, but it's just something missing. Key, go in there and you do it, or you try it, or you do your thing. And then Key will go in there, take what Mike did, and just take it to the fucking stratosphere. And then he does it so effortlessly. It's something about this nigga's voice. He's unique in that I've never really worked with another artist that's quite like him. He's like, you know how everything Nate Dogg did for Dogg Pound and Snoop Dogg and all of that era of music was just so perfect? That's how this nigga voice is. It's just like, it don't matter what he says, it sounds good. You wouldn't understand unless you was in the studio or you were familiar with his music to know what I mean. It don't matter what this nigga say or do in the booth. It just works. This nigga is blessed, bro. But I don't have too much to say about this song. I love the way he sang it. The beat, it's one of those, I don't know. It's one of those young people TikTok type of beats with the doon, 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 doon. Like, I don't dance, but this song and his voice is so undeniable. The way that I mixed it, the way that he did his ad-libs, the texture of his voice by the time we ran it through all the effects and stuff, it's just something about this song that's just so infectious to me. I could not leave it off this list. I couldn't. Next song. Appreciate you for letting me have his song on the album, my nigga. Next is a song called Verified by my nigga Rico. Let me just say this. This nigga Rico is one of the funniest niggas I've ever met, my nigga. This nigga needs to be doing stand-up comedy, probably. I don't know if he'd be funny in that arena, but I do know, me being friends with this nigga on Facebook, every fucking time I see his name pop up, I'm laughing, guaranteed, because this nigga is a fucking idiot. But anyway, let me play the song.
I hit the wood too many times, these bitches hit me back. I had to focus on the bag, these bitches set me back. And I can't hold on to no grudge, but I go tit for tat. They always got something to say, but can't go rack for rack. So don't go asking what's the words. Sick of the hood, I'm in the birds. Bout to mask up like the purge. Doing fraud with all the nerds. Don't be mad, I did it first. Give me a band, you want a verse. Said she love me for my words. Think I'm in love with a curve. I miss Biscotti with the nerves, it took away my anger. She got her body done in Turks for Instagram engagement. I'm in Southwest with a little hoe, look like a bell of danger. She want my $100 bills, too bad she just a stranger. And I can see through the facade. You can't hustle, get a job. Ain't no options where we from. All they know is drug and rob. If you broke, then stay inside. You can't run and you can't hide. You can't always be a star. Gotta get rid of your pride. A good heart to get you.
Alright, stop it there. There's not too much to say about this song. I think, again, Rico is really good at making beats. I mean, picking beats. He actually does make beats, but I don't know if he made this one. I don't think he did. If he did, my apologies. But he's very good at picking beats for him in particular. Not every artist is good at that, like I said earlier. He's really good at picking beats, especially for the style of music that he does. He's like my connection to the young niggas. He make like Detroit beats, songs. Like he's on that wave with the faster paced shit, the types of beats that he chooses. He's very Detroit sounding, Flint sounding shit that he makes. And I don't have a lot of artists that I work with like that, and that's by design. He's one of the only niggas that I still have around that I work with that makes that type of music. The reason that I don't have a lot of artists that sound like that is because a lot of them niggas be on bullshit. They don't be wanting to pay. They be super duper hood niggas. They usually come with that sound. But he's a nigga in college doing good for himself, trying to keep his head above water type shit. I fuck with Rico too. Funny as hell. Really young nigga that seems wise behind his years. A Southwest nigga. And I don't know what it is about me and Southwest people. I get along with Southwest people better than I probably get along with anybody I've ever met in my life. That group of people is just something about them that I resonate with very strongly. Him being one of a bunch of people that I come to know in the last 5-6 years from Southwest. Because prior to that, I knew damn near nobody from Southwest for real. But Rico, this song is hard as fuck, my nigga. Simple as that. It's just one of those songs you just get on here and rap. You know what I'm saying? As simple as that, man. Appreciate you for letting me add your song to the list. This next song is You Satisfied by my nigga Art Carter. This is his second appearance on this project. The original file in my folder is not called that, so I'm gonna play the song before I do any talking about it at all. Where the fuck is it at, though? There it is. It was called Diamond.
Yeah. What happened after I give all I got? Will you be satisfied? What happened after I give all I got? Shit, will I be satisfied? What happened after I give all I got? Is it the time? What happened after I give all I got? Is at the top. That's all I ever wanted way before my first drop. I'm rap, rock, and pop. Can't forget the soul, my camp behind me, cause they know we bout to blow. You was talking slick and now we on your ass. Yo, 5 minutes in it, the second they play this track. You made a decision, now it ain't no going back. My baby, you gotta live with that. I've been self-medicating due to all the stress. I wish I ain't had to bump my head to fully learn my lesson, but I do.
That's all I'm gonna play for now. This song is I think it's just well crafted. I love the beat. Again, I like the way he sounds over this motherfucker, but I think the thing that stands out most about this song is just the way he wrote it. And it just, I don't know, man. Just some people are just, artists are at different stages in their mastery. I think art is just good at constructing songs. And this song, what happens after I give all I got? Will you be satisfied? He's just asking a very simple question, and I relate to the message. I like this song a lot. I had to include it. It's not much for me to explain other than the fact that I just, sonically, I fuck with this song, you know what I'm saying? It's not too many standout components to this song, but I fucks with it. Next song. I appreciate you, Art, for the second time, my nigga. Next song. I ain't even gonna say nothing. We just gonna play the song.
My God, that's what we doing. Hey yo, going straight in. Listen, yo, disrespect. Oh, it's nothing to go and make the news. Pay a couple G's to shoot your shit up like Diego Cruz. Yeah, 100 plus shots. God let the Draco cool. Damn, stupid nigga, should've stayed in school. Won't quit till I'm AZ rich, you know, paid in full. You know, or Eric B and Rakim. All I know is I'm not them. I'm a gym, shooting in the gym like a young Kobe or Stephen Curry. Nigga, I ain't worried. Parch your hair like Montberry. Have a homeless nigga stump you out in a pair of Starberries. From a city where the soul stars was made at. And under the same stars, a lot of souls was laid flat. Worth of James Brown, it's my payback, nigga. Yeah. Pay a couple G's to shoot your shit up like Diego Cruz.
Nigga like
shit. Pay a couple G's, shoot your shit up like Diego Cruz.
Ooh, I damn near played the whole song. This song ain't nothing but 2 minutes long or some shit, man. I don't give a fuck. This my nigga Harden. This is a nigga I've been fucking with for 12 years now. I met him in the studio on some fluke shit. My nigga D-Rick, who's on this list, had me come to the studio because back then I was making beats for D-Rick. He calls me to the studio. We was on the east side of the studio in the basement of our house. I walk in, he's sitting on the couch, my nigga Harden, C. Harden, C. Harden. Sitting on the basement of the, sitting on the couch in the basement of this studio. I produced a song that he was rapping on or something. I can't remember. I don't even think that was it. I think Harden was there doing a feature with Rick, and I was there just to be there because Rick was also rapping on a beat that I made. 2 different songs. Upon sitting in the studio, me and Harden gets to chopping it up, and I realized this one of my type of niggas. Humble guy, he ain't on no bullshit, he ain't all rah-rah, he ain't no super thug and all that shit. It's my type of nigga. We kind of the same age. I think he's a year, 2 years older than me, but a lot of the same, you know, we come up around the same shit. He an East Side nigga, Red Zone, 7 and Hayes. And this my nigga. We still work together, talk to each other all the time. We got projects together. This album right here, not only did he, I can't see the camera, so I don't know if this motherfucker focusing or not, but he took this photo on this album, and this is an album that me and him did together back in like 2017, 18-ish. And this is my man. This is my nigga. This is the nigga that I've been journeying through music with as a rapper since 2012 or 11, whatever it was. And you know, we done been over each other's houses. This nigga be around my kids. We on that level. You know, been around my family. When one of my best friends was going away on some going away shit when he was moving out of the state, Harden was there. And that's my homeboy, and he's so close to my circle of people that he was there too, as he was invited to that too. Just to give you some sort of idea of how much this is my nigga. This song is part of the course. This is the type of shit that me and him do anyway, especially him. My sound varies a little bit from his, but when it comes to that grimy shit that you find in New York or wherever the fuck, this is a nigga that does that shit on a professional level. It's not for everybody. You're not gonna understand it, you know, if you're not tapped into that type of music. But grimy, dark sounding rap shit where he's just giving you bars and this nigga say, pay a couple G's to get your shit shot up like, you know, Diego Cruz. Simple as that, bitch. I pay a nigga to shoot your house up like Diego Cruz is outside with his camera. Shout out to Diego Cruz. I know that nigga too. But my nigga Harden just come through, killed shit, moved on. That's all it is. This song is cold as fuck to me. It's the way that it sounds sonically and the way that I mix that motherfucker, it just sounds amazing to me. So, next song. I appreciate you, my nigga. You already know what it is. VO, nigga. Now, this next song, I sequenced next to that Diego Cruz song, that C. Harden song, intentionally because this is also some more grimy rap shit, some more East Coast sounding type of shit, except a bunch of Detroit niggas. This song is Whole Lot. My nigga International Jay Green, and my nigga Smooth Reese was also, I want to take a moment too. I want to say something. Curating this album, when I was going through every artist catalog, and I got to Jay Green's folder, rather, I realized how much I like this nigga as an artist. He's not the most flashy artist. He ain't the most metaphor-heavy artist. He can rap. I love the tone of this nigga's voice. He got a super deep voice. And he just sound good on music, especially the type of production that he be choosing. He rap over all different kind of shit, but this nigga was supposed to be on this project 3 times. 4 times. I chose 4 songs from this nigga's catalog to add to this album, but I'm like, hell no, nigga, you can't get 4 slots. So I relegated it to 2. He's on here twice. And that nigga Reese, I don't know Reese. Don't know nothing about that nigga. But I've been around him, a few times in the studio only. And I probably met him outside once or twice too at some event. But Reese, I fuck with you, my nigga. I just want to let that be known. It's really nothing deeper than that. I think you a solid nigga. Just in my interactions with you, I think you a very intelligent guy. That's it. But let me play this song.
Yeah, I gotta get that shit rugged. I'm trying to get everything, I want a whole lot. Unky scraping everything, he want the whole pot. Nail polish, vinegar smell, make that shit lock. To buy everything, he want the whole lot.
Ay, I'm on the fade route, Big Joe to Jamar. I sleep light, keep it cool, don't go pissing me off. I stay low through the days, come alive after dark. Ay, what you want? 15 minutes, meet me right at the park. Gotta swerve, it's that type of night where niggas are purge. It don't matter who you are, still leave your thoughts on the curb. You better keep it cool, my nigga, fuck around and get burned. I tell my player partner Jay, relax, it's almost your turn.
Hey yo, Reese, it's our turn too, just like the bus is coming. Right around on the routes for 9, but know the Bucks is coming. Be clear when I'm talking to you, ain't no time for mumbling. Gotta get to the end zone, cause ain't no time for
I'm gonna stop it there. You gotta go listen to the rest of that shit yourself. That beat, ominous, haunting, that sample, that Sapuda is the producer. Shout out to Sapuda. Sapuda is like a YouTube. I ain't trying to label a nigga, and I'm not trying to condescend. But Sapuda, I found Sapuda, and I have a whole project rapping over Sapuda beats. A whole project that is yet to come out. With my nigga C. Harden from the last song. But Sapuda made the beat. Shout out to Sapuda. I found him on YouTube, and he's a very big producer on YouTube / Instagram because he makes like Griselda-esque beats. If you know who Griselda is, I don't have to explain. And when these niggas came in the studio, Reese, Jay, and I think Suppy was there. Shout out to my nigga Suppy. And this nigga pulled up a Sapuda beat. I'm like, what the fuck? I wouldn't expect y'all niggas to rap on no fucking Sapuda beats. You like, yeah. Then they came in here, did a bunch of Sapuda beats, and I'm like, dog, some young niggas from the city, from Detroit, with our accents, the way that we sound, rapping over beats like this is a match made in heaven. Because Detroit, production-wise, don't sound nothing like this. That's some New York, Buffalo, New Jersey, Philly, maybe LA shit from Alchemist, right? That type of sound, that grimy shit. Detroit niggas historically do not rap on shit like this, but guess what? This nigga Benny the Butcher just put out an album last week. Babyface Ray is on it. Peasy is on it. And somebody else from Detroit is on it, if I'm not mistaken. Detroit niggas over grimy-ass Griselda beats, it's nothing you could do. I think niggas, like, this is a prime example. The accents these niggas got, the shit they talking about, the cadence they rap with on this type of production is just fucking amazing, bro. As a rap fan who is a giant, huge fan of grimy, New York sounding shit, old school sounding shit, I could not put this song on this album, my nigga. Appreciate you. Salute to both of y'all boys. Bus Taking Bay Volume 1 and 2. Go check that shit out. This next song is The Human Scorcher 2 by my nigga Bakari B. Bakari I've been working with for maybe 2-3 years. I want to say it might be a little longer than that. He's not even from Detroit. He was recommended to me by one of my engineer homies, one of my mentors in this shit. My nigga, hold on, wait, let me back up. I want to get his Instagram. My nigga, DB Mixing. His real name is Demetrius. But DB Mixing, I just wanted to find his Instagram page so y'all can know. He is an engineer. I don't know if it's focused or not, but if not, then forgive me. He's one of the engineers that I tapped in with when I first went to Atlanta for the first time in like 2015. Went to the studio, recorded a song with him, talked on the phone many times with this man, him giving me pointers about how to make it as an engineer, mixing tips and all that stuff, mastering tips, whatever it was. I could call him and talk about it. Pricing, how to get new clients, dealing with difficult clients, all of that stuff. Demetrius is he's a pretty, I won't say he's well known because engineers don't be well known, but he's a very accomplished engineer. He's worked with Burna Boy, all them type of niggas that you know. He mix all that shit, and I know this nigga personally. Furthermore, this nigga, Demetrius Bell, DB Mixing _INC, is the cousin of C. Harden that made the Diego Cruz song. These niggas is cousins. You know? So that's how I know him. He hits me up one day. Demetrius calls my phone or texts me or something and says, yo, I got a client that's looking for mixing, and he hit me up because they're both in Atlanta. Demetrius is from Detroit, but he lives in Atlanta. Bakari is from Atlanta. I guess he reached out to Demetrius for mixing, but his prices were up there because he's like industry level. So he like, his budget is not necessarily in my range, but I wanted to recommend him to you because I think you will do him good. You're pretty good too. And he's more in your range. You know, he's stunning on me a little bit. But Bakari inevitably reaches out to me by way of Demetrius, and then from there starts our working relationship. I mixed his album, I believe it might have been longer than 3-4 years. I think that was 2018-ish. I mixed Bakari's other project. But anyway, it had been some years since the last time I had worked with Bakari. It probably was maybe 2-3 years in between projects that I mixed for him. But in between time, we had kind of stayed in contact anyway. You know, followed each other on socials, and he would hit me up for advice about music stuff. I just talked to him a couple hours ago about some shit he needed to know for something he's trying to do as far as music equipment. But anyway, he's a solid nigga, whatever. I was in the jam. I came down to Atlanta last June, and that nigga came and took me to the airport type shit. That's my mans. And he hit me up early this year, and he had me mix one of his EPs, EP that he's releasing soon. And, you know, I got this client, you know, this is one of my few remote clients that I have. Well, now I have a lot more, but at this time, I wasn't really working with anybody except for Detroit artists because clearly those are my immediate, you know, surroundings. But he's one of the remote clients that I've maintained over the last 4 or 5 years or whatever. But he sent me this song. I'm going to go ahead and play it, a piece of it.
It's the human scorcher back again, just the torture. Call of Duty step up in my circles, know that we gon' porch ya. Crochet the game like I'm calculating locks. Power on, power off, I can activate your box. I'm mysterious, curious, Nick, yeah I'm furious. Too fast, them crackers acting like they gon' bury us. Fuck me over, then wanna preach about health. Got shooters in B-more, they coming down with 2. I used to.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. I like this beat, man. It's just simply put, I like the beat. I like the song. I like the way he wrote it. And his feature, the nigga he had featured on here, I believe that's Spoxy. I'm not sure if that's who that is rapping. But I know he told me to put in the feature line, it's him, Bakari B, and then featuring Demi J and Spoxy. Or Demi J maybe is not a feature. Spoxy might be the feature, so I think that's who's rapping. Demi J might have made the beat. I'm not sure. But I don't know. He would have to clarify. I'm just guessing here. But this song is just dope. I don't really have too much to say about it. I like the beat. I like their verses. I like the hook, the sample that they put at the end from Next Friday, which you have to go hear for yourself because I'm not about to play it. But, you know, this is my shit, man. I like this song. Next song. Appreciate you for allowing me to include your song on the project too, my nigga. Even though it's coming out before your actual release, you're letting me pretty much soft launch it by putting it on my shit. So thank you. I appreciate that. All right. This next song is a song that, man, this is a very unique guy, man. This is my nigga Ghost 404 with the song Walking, right? So like I said earlier in the video, Ghost is who did the cover for this album. I put out a little SOS on my Instagram stories and said I need somebody in the community to do the cover artwork because it just felt right because it's a compilation of all my artists' music. I wanted somebody from the community that I know to also do the art because then it's really y'all creation. I'm just curating it, right? I reached out to a few people. My man's Ro, who got the intro on this album, he reached out to me and said his wife could do it because she's an artist. She did this. His wife did the cover, and see, there's no such thing as coincidences. We right back to square one. His wife did the cover to this album. This is Info, my man's Info, producer. This is his instrumental album. He produced this album himself and had me mix it. It's just an instrumental album. He had me mix it, and then he had it printed up in vinyl, and he brought it to me and showed me the artwork. It's a beautiful album. Simple, but beautiful, right? Time for Love is what this album is called. Info 56. Jedi High Music, right? He had me mix this album. Only instrumental album I've ever mixed, I believe. And he pressed it up. Now, I've had this album here for years because we did that like 2019, 2020-ish. Ro comes in for his session one of the days, and I think I showed him this album, and he was like, yo, let me see the back of that. He looks at the back. He like, man, I think my girl did this. And lo and behold, his girl did this album. It all connects. There is no such thing as coincidences, right? She's one of the people that reached out, or Ro reached out to me and said that she could do the artwork for this album. I had maybe only 3 people reach out to me and said they wanted to do it. My nigga Jonathan Crawford, who's also in Atlanta from Detroit, he said he wanted to do a piece for it, but he never got back to me, but it's all good. I know he's going through some shit right now, but my nigga Ghost reached out, and Ghost sends me the cover, and I fucked with it. But I was like, I'm not 100% sure because I'm indecisive, and it's like, I just want shit to be, I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision all the time. So I took the artwork, I ran it through my homeboys, got their critiques, see, you know, what they want to use, and I ran it through a few people. And they were like, overall, they fucks with it. They would have changed a few things here and there. There was a typo I had Ghost change, but all in all, everybody was like, man, I fucks with it. Then I sent it to my nigga Harden, who did the Diego Cruz song, and he like, I fucks with it heavy. We were on the phone for like an hour talking about this shit, just art in general we were talking about. And he was like, yeah, man, I love that shit. Go with it, use that motherfucker. So I'm like, bet, say less. And Art also did a back cover so I could eventually put the track listing on it. So I might be printing this album up for vinyl for niggas. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that later though. But my nigga Ghost. Ghost is a very unique guy. He's a character in a good way, not a bad way. And I say that this is what I mean by character. He has a brand. Ghost has a brand that he leans into very hard. You know how when you look at somebody like, I don't know, Jim Jones, you can look at somebody like Westside Gunn, you can look at somebody like Kanye. They are who they are, and they lean into it. The vernacular they use, whether it comes down to the type of music they make, they are themselves, and they are very much so themselves. Ghost is a nigga, I don't know no niggas like him. He's an artist, he's quirky, and just like an artist would be. He uses his own type of vernacular when he raps. His style of rapping is not like nobody I work with or have ever really listened to. He draws on everything. We were sitting here, the first time I met this nigga, I think, this nigga sitting on this couch in the studio while I'm recording Art, I believe it was, he was here with. And me and Art is recording, this nigga just sitting here. He wasn't doing no music this day. This nigga draws me, he draws me not me, he doesn't draw me, he draws me a picture of like his interpretation of my album cover, Prayers from Below. Right? He's just sitting there doodling the whole time and we talking and everything. But at the end of the session, this nigga's leaving and just hands me this doodle. Let me go get it real quick. He walks away and he hands me this. It's a doodle of a man holding his own head. Right? And there's a speech bubble. This is some cold shit that he just did on a whim. And he just casually handed it to me and left. On my album cover, the reason that he did this is because you go look at my album cover, Prayers from Below. There's an artist's depiction of a scene from Dante's Inferno, and the guy Dante comes across a guy who's in one of the 7 hells or 9 hells or whatever. I think it's 7 layers of hell. And he comes across a guy who is doomed to be decapitated every day of his otherworldly life. He lives in hell. He's doomed to have his head cut off every day. And he holds his head up and he's talking to Dante and Virgil from a pit with his own head in his hand. You know, and that's my album cover for Prayers from Below. And he basically recreated it with his own style. I've never met a nigga like Ghost. He's a smart young nigga. I fucks with him. He's a solid nigga. He did this album cover he was just like, man, I just want to make something dope for you, bro. And I'm like, shit, say less. And he did it. And ultimately I went with his cover, bro. But this song, let me just play the song. Hold on.
It's just different.
Sun is raising, niggas walking. Feeling like I'm Goku with the pole. Fireworks and pistol popping. Young niggas and we never really plan on getting old. Sun is raising, niggas walking. Shades on me, I can never let a demon take my soul. Shorty said I'm deep, I said you sleeping cause I know. Moving cause I never been the type to sit and home. I'm fed up, you ain't moving, why you standing, you can't talk. I can't let her cause I'm moving, when I'm moving, I can't stop. Sipping water off the beat, got my CD up in a pot. I'm tryna cross the map, I got the city on my back. Hey, it's Fofo, know I'm feeling groovy walking in. But on the low, I've been feeling a bit off again. So it's for sure I had to tell you what the problem is. I don't know if I should look for mansions or apartments here. Order man, know is that you better catch an autograph for the man. Blow up, then go trade that shit in for some cash to a fan. They gon' probably use that shit to get some ass from a chick. Fucking with that nigga cause he on my dick. Talking slick cause no Fofo smoother than some lubricant. Niggas chasing after every currency but common sense. Just a bust a rollie but still use they phone for time and shit. Give me that type of paper and I'ma take it and multiply multiply instead. Is that a bird or plane?
I'm gonna stop it right there. My nigga Ghost, he has a style unlike anybody else's. The thing that struck me about this song most is, like I said, his vernacular, his choice of words when he raps and writes. The hook, this nigga said, feeling like I'm Goku with the pole. That's a double entendre for niggas. If you a nerd, that's another reason why I like this nigga, because he straddles the line between rapper and nerd, and that's like my field. I love anime, cartoons, video games, all type of shit, comic books. This nigga said, feeling like I'm Goku with the pole. Now, if you a super street nigga and you deep in them trenches and you ain't never watched a cartoon, you know, first of all, I want to apologize to you for the life that you've lived. But you wouldn't understand the reference, because he's saying Goku with the pole because Kid Goku used to have a staff that would extend, right? Feeling like I'm Goku with the pole, but then pole being a gun as well. I don't know why that line is just so fucking hard to me. And then it's just the way that he rap. You have to listen to the song to see what I mean. And then this beat made by Epic the Don, which I had heard before he came to the studio with it, because I used to be scrolling through Epic the Don's beats on Facebook and Instagram because he ran ads all the time. This nigga walks into the studio with the beat, and I'm like, oh, I heard this before, and he kills it. And it's like, nobody could have made this song but Ghost. Just go listen to the song. I appreciate you, Ghost, for the cover and the song, bro. I appreciate you for real. All right. This next song, and the people that made it are very significant to me. I'm gonna just play the song first.
I'ma talk about who is, I don't focus on who ain't. Ay, look, I'ma talk about who is, I don't focus on who ain't. They don't talk like that outside, reason why is cause they can't. Ain't trill as us, we gon' build it up into the ceiling such. I know they was fronters, they ain't hunters, they ain't killed enough. Shit be up and down, that's how the game go. Nah, they ain't took me out, but shit, they done came close. Won't never cover up the scars, let the pain show. They ain't get the vision, it's a given what you see in me. Need a she a keeper, that's my Keisha, this is CMB. Rockabye, baby, yeah, that's my lady. On a hot lady, got a whole style wavy. Hood side crazy, side eye vibes tryna play me. Lie for this, the Navy, she a die tryna save me. Fuck them other niggas cause they ain't me. God made up for me. I just pray I'm her peace. I be way in the deep, ain't no way I'm on lead. Thinking shit a game, man, just know I play for keeps. In and out of beauty with a beast that don't sleep, nigga. What you say? In and out of beauty with a beast that don't sleep, nigga.
There. There's a whole second half of the song, the beat switch up and all of that shit. But okay, so a few things I just want to cover. First of all, this is significant to me because D-Rick, first of all, he gave me this shirt, this hoodie that I'm wearing right now. La Familia. This is what that nigga Seven Jones was saying in his song. They are, you know, in a family together, a musical family together. Rick is the reason Seven Jones come here. Rick is the reason why I met C. Harden. Shit, Rick is the reason why I'm a motherfucking engineer. This nigga calls me one day, it's 2013. Our relationship at this point is that I'm his producer, right? I'm his producer. I've been working with Rick since maybe 2008, 2009. I used to work with a nigga, that he knew, and the nigga that I worked with passed my beats along to Rick. And then we started communicating with each other because Rick needed producers. I'm literally 18, 19 years old. Rick brings me to my first studio in 2009 or 10. Studio A in Dearborn, Michigan. So we go on 4 years, you know, I'm producing for this nigga, giving him beats here and there, whatever. He rapping over all kind of shit, but he's rapping over some of my shit. He brought me to my first studio. He brought me there, Studio A, and the studio that I ended up meeting Harden in, my homeboy. He brings me to that studio and plugged me with that engineer as well. That engineer that he brought me into the studio with told me that he was looking to hire engineers and all he really wanted them to know how to do is work Pro Tools. I hit my mama up. This is like 2012. I hit my mama up and I'm like, look, there's an opportunity for me to learn Pro Tools and possibly get a job in the studio with an engineer that's pretty known and it can get me in my foot in the door and on some music shit. My mama like, say less. Tell me how much Pro Tools costs. I'll go half with you. And the rest is history. I bought Pro Tools, started practicing on it, and I started posting it on my socials that I was fucking with Pro Tools, learning it, because my hopes was to get hired by this other engineer we was working with. D-Rick sees it. Like 2013, it's 2013. D-Rick sees me posting that I'm learning Pro Tools. He calls me. It's probably like April, May, June, something like that. He like, yo, I seen you been fucking around with Pro Tools. I know you don't know it like that, but you think you can run a session? I wanted to say no, especially because as much as I doubt myself, but I'm like, yeah, I probably could run a session. Yeah, hell yeah. Now, mind you, I didn't know shit about Pro Tools. I was ass at Pro Tools. I didn't know shit. This nigga was like, yeah, I want you to run this session for me at Collective, I think it's called, Collective Studios, Oak Park, 9 Mile and whatever. Came to Collective. I think that was the first time I've been to Collective. This nigga really done put me in the game on some big homie shit. I come to the studio, it's a session with Rose Spit, who at the time, I believe, has Burn Rubber, of course, but he also, at the time, I think this nigga had a TV show with Eminem at the time. It might have been either just about to happen or already was happening. Walk in the studio, I'm nervous than a motherfucker. Before I walk in the studio to engineer for Rose Spit and D-Rick, Calico, the battle rapper, is sitting outside on the couch with a girl, some niggas, and some more girls. And I'm so young, so antisocial and socially awkward. I walk in, Calico is dapping all these niggas up, and then I try to nod at Calico like, what up? And Calico just looks at me like, and don't say shit. I'm like, fuck. So I'm in my head now. I get in the studio. I'm nervous than a bitch at this table, at this console. We talking about a big studio with the big board with all the knobs and all the complicated shit. I ain't never seen none of this shit. Now I can run all that shit. But that in 2013, I had never even physically been in front of that type of shit. I run this session. We in that motherfucker for maybe 3-4 hours. I'm young, awkward as fuck. Him and Rose Spit talking. I know who Rose Spit is. And I want to introduce myself and interject in the conversation so bad. But I'm so nervous that I'm quiet. I fuck up in the session. I record with the bigs on. The big giant speakers with the subwoofers. So when we come back to listen back, mind you, my mix on this session is ass, right? But I'm in here trying to figure shit out. We record like a verse or whatever for a song, and the vocals is fucked up. And I think Rose Spit goes to call Prevail, the owner of Collective Studios, in the room. Prevail comes in and he listens to the vocals. And he's like, yo, these vocals are fucked up. You recorded them with the bigs on so you can hear all the bass in the vocals. So I'm like, fuck. He like, yo, I got to redo that. I'm in this motherfucker like, oh my God. Here I am pretending to know what I'm doing on the job. And I done fucked this nigga's song up and wasted his time in the studio. Now we got to redo a song. I'm so embarrassed, but I'm holding my composure though. I made an amateur mistake. We was drinking. I took my cup of whatever they poured me, and I put it on the console. I don't know no better because I ain't never worked in no real studio as the engineer. I haven't. Rose Spit comes over, casually takes my cup and put it on the floor like, what type of mistake is that to make, nigga? But he was cool. It was cool. But that's the story of D-Rick bringing me into my first session as an engineer. That wasn't my first time recording because I record homies at the crib, which was different, but we working on professional equipment in a professional setting with a nigga that's pretty well known. I was nervous than a bitch. But All 3 of the first studios I ever been in, this nigga D-Rick brought me into. That's his song that you just heard. You know, that's him rapping. His sound has changed very much over the years. We still got songs up on YouTube that I produced from 13, 14, 15 years ago, bro. That's my man's. He older than me. That's my nigga. He taught me a lot of things, whether he knows he has or not. Solid nigga. You know, he's been my introduction to a lot of shit musically. And I've already realized it's not like I'm just realizing it now. And I've told him this before too, but I wanted to tell y'all that. This is my man's. But this song, to get to the song, this song, it just feels like, I don't know, it's just so good. The production, it has this ethereal feel that I like. It has this dark, ethereal feeling to it, very spacey with those vocals in the beat. And then for him to go get 6 a.m. featured on this motherfucker, it was just, I don't know, it was just a perfect choice because 6 a.m. opens it up singing gibberish, but it just sounds so good. And then the way that he complements the song with the ad-libs in the back, which is all D-Rick's doing, meaning he Quincy Jones this song, pulled all elements together, brought it to me to have me mix it, all of that shit. It was all his doing. I can't take credit for anything other than the mix, which is extremely good, might I add. But I don't have too much to say about this song. It's just really good. And I do want to say, though, to me, if I'm being totally honest, on this song, the standout is this nigga 6. I don't know if y'all ever seen that video of some white girls hiding under a motherfucker's car in Royal Oak or wherever that shit was, and he pull up with his camera and he was like, what the fuck is y'all doing under my car? He caught them trying to steal his car, not steal his car, but go in his car and steal something out of it. And they tried to hide under his car and he caught them. This shit was on the news and everything. And he told them, like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Y'all gotta get the fuck out of here. And then, you know, that shit was all over the news and all over the internet. That's this nigga singing on the song. I fucks with 6. He's a solid nigga too. He's hilarious. He's inspiring because he's really good at what he does. All of that type of shit. But yeah, man, thank you for allowing me to include this song, both of y'all, 6 and D-Rick. Appreciate y'all. Next song. All right, this next song is a song for smokers. This song almost didn't make it. This almost was a semifinalist, and it actually did get eliminated at first until it was one of those moments where I was going through the eliminated songs, like the semifinalists and the finalists, and I was like, man, I need this vibe on this album. I like this song a lot, but truth be told, just so niggas to understand my process, I'm true to my process. There were songs that I eliminated that I liked more than Get Baked. This song is called Get Baked. There were songs that I eliminated that I liked more than this song, but I felt like the vibe that Mondo, my nigga, the true Mondo, the vibe that he introduces on this song was needed for this project. It's very laid back. It's very, smoker laid up. I love the beat. The production on this song is just, that's what gets me. I'm a producer at heart. That's what I started doing in music 22 years ago. So production, it grabs me before anything does. And then your voice, your performance has to go well with the beat. So it's not just the beat, but the beat is a large part of the reason why I chose all of these songs, right? This song, not so much the subject matter because I'm not a smoker and I cannot relate. I don't care about weed culture. I don't smoke at all, pretty much. I smoke maybe once or twice a year, if that. And then that's only when I'm around somebody that's asking me, you want to hit it? I hit it once or twice, and I never smoke again for 9-10 months. That type of thing. But Mondo made this song, and I was very impressed with the vibe that he created, the way that he controlled his voice, the tone of his voice. He has a very deep, like, I won't say monotone, but I can't think of a better word. But he has a very deep, like, smooth-ass voice where he made the perfect weed smoking song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what else to say. Then the production is just so good. I'm going to play it, and then we're going to move on.
Peace and love, dog.
I'm going to stop the song right there, and I'm going to just toot my own horn and point out the fact that it was my idea to add that lighter flick to the very beginning, because the original iteration of this song does not have that. It has it in the intro of the song, but I was like, it would be better if this song starts off with the lighter flick, so it's like instantly you know what this shit is about, but also it kind of like, that's an iconic sound thanks to Lil Wayne and other weed smoking artists. But I don't know, I just thought that was a dope way to just intro the song. But
if you had a long day, dog, just light up with me. True Mondo. Let's get back. Smoking that Viola, elevated yoga. Got a smoothie from Belayo, mango, pineapple, let's roll up. Now don't get it confused, I'm way higher than you. Cause everything I eat, it is my choice to get infused. It's been 8 whole years I've been smoking on that good green. 8 whole years I've been baking cushion OG. Got no fear when I'm walking down my own streets. I don't care what you saying, you don't know me. Everybody walk a different path. Everybody got a different laugh. Everybody's got a fantasy. You can see it when you smoking weed. Let's get baked to a hybrid or sativa. Let's get baked with a grabber to Khalifa. Let's get baked, te invita tu amigas. Let's
man,
get baked.
the vibe that this nigga set for this shit, man, is just so perfect. I don't smoke. This the type of shit that make a nigga want to smoke. Like, I don't know what else to say other than that, man. Great job, my nigga Mondo. Looking forward to working with you some more. And he just had another song mixed by me maybe a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. He got some more shit that I was like, damn, okay. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. This next song is by a guy that I've been working with for maybe 2 or 3 years. Sean J. This song is called The Voyage. And to be honest, man, Sean is one of the best writers that I work with. He's a black guy that looks like he's white. So when I met him, I'm gonna just be honest. When I met him, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. It's not that I put him in a box or anything, but I certainly didn't expect him to sound like this.
Stay in for the night.
Sheesh.
I got something for ya. You've never been this high. Just see what's in store. I'll carry you across dimension. Don't thank me, baby girl. You don't have to question my love. I'll fly you to the moon. We'll sit upon the stars, pretend that they're all ours. I'll get you back one day. Till then I have to stay, heal our battle scars. I'll never know the truth, pretending it's no use. So distant, so far. I'll take you back one day. Till then I have to stay, heal our battle scars. Questioning our existence.
Man, so it's a lot going for this song. This nigga has the voice of an angel. This nigga is a dentist. If I ain't trying to air you out, but you a dentist, my nigga. What are you doing singing like this, bro? Why are you singing like this? This nigga walks in, I don't know, I think he's a black guy or a white guy or Arab guy or something. This nigga walks in looking all unassuming. And when I first met him, he was working with my nigga Trey. They came in working on some, like, Trey was the rapper type thing, and Sean was the singer. They had a whole album that they did together. It was amazing. It was a good album, right? But my nigga Trey is all over the place. So Sean comes back maybe a year or two after they did that album, and he's like, man, I want to work on my own project by myself and just, you know, I got some ideas that I need to get out of my own. So I'm like, shit, let's do it. Because I had never worked with him without Trey, and I knew Trey before him. So he comes in and he's like, yeah, I got a EP that I wrote and I want to come lay with you. I think it's 4 songs. Let me find the name of it before I even continue because I want you to go hear the rest of this album that we did. Amazing EPs, really, really, really good shit. Live for Now is an EP, came out July 31st, 2023. Yes, it's 5 songs on here. Ground Zero, Live for Now, Love Games, Dancing to Stay Awake, and The Voyage. I mix all of these songs, and the way that his creative process is, he asks input from me and his homeboys. He had like a whole panel for creative judgment, right? And he would ask me too, not to say that he leaned on my judgment. I didn't help write these songs or nothing like that. But he would ask, and what do you think I should do here? Do you think I should keep that ad lib or blah, blah, blah? You know, our relationship is a little more involved than most artists, you know, because I like his process and it resonates with me a lot. It's just easy for me to understand his process. I don't know why. It's just how it is. But he comes in and he does this EP, and I'm like, wow, this nigga is such a good writer. But comes to find out, he's the son of a writer / bass guitarist, a bassist or bass guitarist. And his father, he brought his father here a few times, and we traded stories, and he's like a kind of a well-known musician. He's a bass player. I don't remember his name. I'm not going to try to guess it because I'll get it wrong. But his father is a pretty accomplished musician. And his father wrote a song. If I'm getting this wrong, please forgive me, Sean. His father wrote a song about his mother, about Sean's mother, the mother that he conceived his son with. I mean, the woman he conceived his son with. If not, he just wrote it about a woman. I don't know. This is a song that he wrote long ago. Sean somehow came into possession of the song. And Sean comes in and redoes the song. And that's how I got acquainted with his father's writing. I'm like, wow, his father's a great writer too, right? These niggas are good with their pen. Sean comes in, does this EP, and I'm like, wow. Not only is this nigga a good ass, angelic singing ass nigga, but his pen, that's your strongest field, just in case you don't know that. You are an amazing fucking writer, bro. And even if you don't want to be a singer and you want to just keep making all that fucking money being a dentist, write songs for people because you can make hella money doing that and you can win Grammys and nobody will ever even know what you look like if that's how you want it. But I just want to let you know that, man. I appreciate you for allowing me to include your song in this project. The rest of your project is amazing. Appreciate you. All right. This next song is Walking Away by Flacco Suave, man. My nigga Suave is he's a special person to me. I think he's very intelligent. I think he's a very charismatic guy. I think he has some star power to him. And I think he's one of those young people that has an old soul. And it probably has something to do with his upbringing. He's another Southwest artist. He's told me a little bit about his father. I also record his brother, Damasio, who's supposed to be on this album. But Suave is one of those younger people that I work with that when I speak to him, when we're talking about something real, he listens. He's a good listener from my experience. I don't know him in and out. You know, he's not my closest friend or nothing like that, but he's a person that I just took a liking to very quickly because he's a very respectful guy. He respects people's time. He's another artist that pays me with no problem. He listens well. He's very efficient in that booth. You know, he ain't wasting no time. He's very particular about the way that he does things. He's in and out. He's done things like come in, because he's so efficient with his recording process, he'll book an hour, record his song in 20 minutes, and he'll either sit there and talk to me for the rest of the time. He ain't even making no qualms about the money. He's just like, whatever. Or he'll record for 20 minutes and leave and be like, I'm out. Appreciate you. See you next time. He's also an artist that comes in and he rarely books more than 1 hour. He'll come in, he's a well-oiled machine in that aspect. He comes in, lays his song down, super easy, super quick because he works on all this shit prior to, and he maximizes his time in the studio. Very smart, intelligent, fast thinking type of nigga. I ain't trying to big up your ego or nothing like that, man, but I think highly of you. You a young nigga that I look up to in a lot of regards. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with you. And you're a very talented artist. I'm gonna play this song real quick.
Some type of way I felt, but I just brushed it off cause I was underneath the spell. That magic that we felt, I wanna think it's real, but how you acting with your actions know that I can deal. If you can help me grow, then I'm gonna let you go. There ain't no point to be around and hurt each other's soul. No more we'll try again, no way can we be friends. This time it's fuck you, I can't love you, get to stepping in. And I know you walking away, away, away. I know you walking, and I know you talking, and I know you feeling some way, some way, some way. I know you feeling some, and I know you feeling some. If you can help.
I'm gonna stop it right there, man. This is a very infectious song. This is probably out of all the songs on this project, this is probably the song that I think would do the best on radio, like in the mainstream. This song is so infectious. It's very short and sweet. This song is only 1 minute and 40 seconds long. I think Suave is a very good writer. I think this nigga has the voice of an angel too. What the fuck, man? Y'all niggas is just out here singing like D'Angelo and shit. What are you doing, man? I fucks with this nigga. I fucks with his music. And another reason I love this song so much is because it's so quote unquote different than the norm. I don't record music that sounds like this. It's upbeat, it's dancey, I can hear this shit on a Kia commercial type shit. You know what I'm saying? This song you could put anywhere in the world and it will perform. See, this is what I be preaching about with music, about grassroots music. All the best talent is not signed and known. A lot of the best talent you will never hear from. The same way with basketball. It's not true that everybody that's good at basketball is NBA. Most of them are. But there's plenty of niggas that slipped through the cracks, whether it was because of legal reasons, wrong place, wrong time, motherfuckers not applying themselves enough or whatever. But all of that goes into what ultimately allows you to make it, right? I'm not saying that about Suave, but I'm just talking about, I'm talking about basketball right now. But in terms of music, there is this whole underbelly of artists that are arguably as good or better than a lot of the people that we see on TV or commercials or wherever the platform might be. I would bet every dollar that I own that you could put this song anywhere in the world geographically, any medium, whether this was on a fucking Kia commercial, a Cheerios commercial, I mean, minus the cuss words, obviously, if he was to clean it up, but I'm talking about the sound of it, the quality of it, the way that he wrote it. I can hear this in a movie, the outro of a movie, the credits, just the backdrop of a random movie or a TV show. There's no way that I could see this being out of place if Issa Rae was to put this on her TV show or Atlanta or something like that. You know, maybe not Atlanta because Atlanta was very, very Southern music, but Issa Rae would have easily put that on her show. This is one of those songs where you just throw that motherfucker out to the world and it will make him money for decades. That's how I feel about this song. The way it's mixed, thanks to me, I mean, I helped him sound like an angel, but this nigga's voice sounds immaculate on this song. And then The writing is superb. Kudos, my nigga. Amazing song. Great job. Great effort. And I appreciate you for being a real nigga. You didn't even think twice. I said, let me put this song on there. For sure, nigga. You let me. I appreciate that. I really do. This next song is called La, I think. Or is it L.A.? I think it's La. It's La. This is another song by Jamar Loops, from his album Fall Forever, which is an amazing album. Please go listen to it. But I'm going to just play it.
He got a wife at the job, you gotta relax. Telling you it's overtime, but you know it's cap. Later you hitting my line, you want me to crash. The tone of your voice, I ain't have a choice, so I took a chance. Stay at the crib to run you some water, we're taking a bath. Talk about things that don't mean a thing, I'm making you laugh. Your kid is asleep, you looking at me, you want me to grab. I rep to see how deep I can be, so I took a step. Seconds to hours of time, I got you losing your mind.
I'm gonna stop it right there. This song has the quality of like a 90s R&B song. And that's probably got a lot to do with whatever sample that he used in the background there. He took a sample, muddied it, he basically put it underwater, threw some simple drums over it to give it that spacey, ethereal song, which in music engineer terms, gave his vocals so much room to live in the song. He's rapping over a soft bed of a sample being muted, undertones of a sample, muted with an 808 that's knocking, thanks to me again, and a snare that's kind of just giving you that, keeping the cadence for you. It's not even a snare, it's just like a percussion sample that's just knocking in the background, keeping the beat. But really, it's just the space of the song and him. And the way that he's just floating in this space that he's created with the production, like I imagine this song being like, I can imagine this being in outer space or some sort of like this ethereal pocket of like in between space. Like it feels like you're in this room alone or something, which is perfect because in this song, he's basically talking about being in a room with a young lady, them having an opportunity to fuck with each other, and them both being hesitant, trying to basically playing cat and mouse with each other. And she's begging this nigga to smash, and he's taking his sweet time doing it because he playing with her ass, and he waiting for the opportunity because her son is in the way and all kind of shit this nigga talking about. This nigga is also a great writer. Me and this nigga met. He comes to the studio, we meet, and I met him through my man's Sean. I meet him through my man Sean, another Sean, not the Sean that's on this album. He comes to the studio on his own, and in the midst of us talking, we find out this nigga been working with my pops, I ain't gonna say where, for years. And he knows my father. I'm like, oh shit. Instantly, that kind of made him, it put an asterisk next to his name for me because I love my father. And I think if my father, you know my father and my father fucks with you, then, that eliminates a bunch of mystery for me, and I fuck with you too. You know what I'm saying? So Jamar comes in the room, and this nigga just spilling over with talent. This nigga make his own beats. He's a great writer. This nigga also has one of those magic voices where he just sounds good on anything. He can rap his ass off. He can make R&B records. This is one of them type of niggas that you put in the realm of a Drake, one of those rapping R&B type niggas. I'm not trying to box you in, my nigga. I'm just doing the best I can to explain your qualities. Because you can put him in front of women in a crowd, or you can put him in front of niggas in the crowd, and everybody fuck with him. You would have to, because he got something for all of us. Go listen to this nigga album. This song is amazing. I don't even love making songs because I'm not a R&B type of nigga. But this song is just perfectly crafted, my nigga. Like I told you in private many a times, I'm telling you in public, salute, my nigga, good job. Appreciate you. This next song is Wishing by International J and my nigga Smooth Reese. I'm gonna just play it.
Elizabeth with her arms outstretched.
on nights, I had to swallow my pride.
To tell her my phone, wishing I was to tell her my phone, wishing I was to show her a we goes out
Band on nights, I had to swallow my pride. It's a blessing that I'm even alive. I was fucked up, I felt like that I wanted to die. Minds blessed me when I prayed to the sky. My grandma couldn't save a dime. A lot of curses that I'm breaking now. Niggas died, a lot of hearses, they ain't faking now. Fucked up, we was the takers, huh? Street V3, we out here trying to get the game breaking, huh? We trying to win, not participate. Bring it back to the hood, duplicate and then demonstrate. It take persistence just to penetrate. It take time to let them know you great. Bouncing through the bullshit, I'm dodging all the hate. I pray to God he know my fate.
Man, that's all I'm gonna give y'all niggas. This is another beat that he got from Sapuda. It has that minimalistic rapping over a sample sound that Griselda popularized over the last, 8 years, 9 years, or whatever it is. Very straightforward, in your face type of song where it's just two niggas on a song rapping about their life, telling your ass the truth, I can only assume, rapping over this infectious ass sample that I think is the Stylistics or something like that, or whoever that is. And then, it doesn't really get more complicated than that. I just think this is so dope. Reese and Jay have this spirit that I resonate so well with because they are young black men from areas that are rough, and it is reflected through their words, their vernacular, the sound of their voice, the choice of their beats, all of that. It's all encompassing, and you can feel it, you can hear it, you can see it, and when you're around them, you can feel it, you can see it, you can hear it, and I like that. The same way I feel about Dan, the same way I feel about this nigga and Reese, Jay and Reese. They have this quality to them that you could just hear their hood in their music. And it's not their hood in the I'm banging on you type of thing, but it's their hood and like you can hear the environment that made them in their music. And you usually hear that with young niggas. And that's what I like. It ain't like Jay is much younger than me because Jay he's an older guy. But I'm saying young niggas because these niggas have this, it's like this grit, this hunger to their music that sounds like young nigga music. Like, that's the type of shit that you hear from people like, Kendrick when he young, the way his album sounded, the way J-Rock album sounded, the way, I could go on and on, but it's like, you can hear the grit, you can hear the hunger in these niggas' music. They talking about the shit that they go through, whatever it is, with women, their kids, whether they fucking a girl, all that type of shit, and you can just hear the texture in that shit, man. I fucks with this type of shit. Thank you, my nigga. Almost to the end. This second to last song is a song called No Lie by my nigga Spig. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah. To everybody that stayed down to this point, I sincerely thank you. Hold up. It feels like every tree I planted went bad, regardless of the intentions I had. But what I ain't gon' do is stay in the past. I got 4 sisters looking at me, can't afford to lose track. No lie, no lie. Feel like I got the whole world up on my back. There's no lie, no lie. But what I am gon' do is stay up on it. Every person you see me with in these past videos done either switch switched up, fell back, I fell out in smoke. Colonel Viviendo's a trip, it's more than you know. But just follow with me as I spit these truthful manifestos. See, I'm from the old school, where people chose to find a way to get rich, and then they put on their whole crew. One may be the boss, cause this business I was supposed to. But why can't we as black men come together and follow our own rules?
How come we as black men can't come together and follow our own rules? That line alone is why I included this song. Spig, my nigga Spig Bin Laden. He's a LA nigga. He's a my nigga Spig is a fig nigga. He's a Crip. Right? He from LA. I ain't even gonna throw out his hood. If you know where Fig is, then you already know where his hood is. But Spig is a very unique guy. I don't know anybody like Spig either. Spig is he works on lowriders. He's a LA nigga to the core. The way he talks, his vernacular, his accent, even though he been in Detroit for a while now, he loves and respects where he comes from. He lives by the codes of where he comes from. He's true to that color, and there ain't shit else to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Spig I fucks with the type of nigga he is. He to work with his hands type of nigga. He's a hardworking, he's really a boss. He's got a company that builds lowriders for people, hydraulics, whatever you need, customizing, fabricating, all that type of shit they doing with these whips. And he's like a car culture rapper in the sense that when you go to car meets and you pulling out the old schools and all that shit, he even mentioned it in the song. Pulling out the old school, it's likely they could be playing some of his shit. I know him to be tapped in with Trick. Spig he's a special type of nigga to me too. Me and him took a liking to each other. I have a great respect for Spig. And I fuck with his music because it reminds me of what the world used to feel like in the 90s. I remember growing up. He's younger than me. But I remember growing up, and I remember when California music was all over the radio, this is what it felt like. It felt like it had this texture to it as well. It had the LA gang culture was in it. Their vernacular, the type of production that they like. The sample, he's rapping over a 90s R&B sample, and the first thing this nigga said was, it seemed like every tree I planted went bad, regardless of the intentions I had. I did the same thing to this nigga. I called him, right? I just called him, and I'm like, I didn't even say shit. He answered the phone. He like, yo, what's the deal, whatever. I didn't say shit back. I just pressed play on this song. And I'm playing it, and I'm rapping it to him on the phone, and he in the background cracking up. And he like, and I basically rapped the hook to him, and I stopped it. I'm like, yo, my nigga, I just had to call you to tell you that this fucking song is amazing. Spig ain't the most polished rapper in the world. He don't sound like, I'm saying the way he sounds, the way he does his takes, he don't be doing multiple takes. He give you one take, and it is what it is. He might redo it, but he's not a punch artist is what I'm saying. He's not punching line for line. He's rapping that bitch all the way through, even if he's running out of breath. The way that he sounds is true to who he is. He's a LA nigga who sounds like, he said, I'm from the old school. That's true. He sounds like an artist from the 90s in LA. And that's why I had to include it. Not only because of this infectious ass, catchy ass hook and this beat that's knocking like a motherfucker, but because there is not a single person I've ever heard or worked with in my life in this city that I live in that sounds like this nigga. I ain't never seen nobody encapsulate the culture that they're born in as well as this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, he sound like a real LA nigga. But salute to you, my nigga. I appreciate you for letting me include your song. And I'm looking forward to you getting your motherfucking ass back in the studio because it's been a couple months, nigga. Holla at me. And last, but certainly not motherfucking least, is a song that I recorded called By Myself. And this song, it serves as the outro because to me it sounds like an outro. The production that I rapped on, which is done by Sessions. He's the producer that goes by Sessions or something Session on YouTube. And he's a Griselda-esque sample flipping type of producer. And I fucks with his sound real heavy. And the production sounds almost like ending credits type shit. And very dramatic, you know, true to myself. That's the type of things that I like. I like dramatic ass beats. I like dramatic sounds. I like to rap dramatically. If you know me, you already know that. But he put something together, the producer I'm talking about, put something together that I thought was perfect for me. And I thought this song summed up my last year in totality pretty well. I'm just play it, and I'm gonna play the whole song. Yeah. Hey, I'm by myself. Born alone, die alone, expecting nothing else. One set of footprints in the sand, expect no help. Had to learn to tolerate my demons and myself. They took me through hell. Bitch, I'm by myself. Born alone, die alone, expecting nothing else. One set of footprints in the sand, expect no help. Had to learn to tolerate my demons and myself. They took me through hell. Bitch, I'm by myself. Nothing to be proud of but a fact that I'm comfortable with. Once I learned myself in and out, shit had humbled me quick. No second guessing the detachments, no love for no bitch. For every finger you point at me, just know we both sick. I live my life as if my loved ones are dying already. Existential shit, say the word, I fly when you ready. Just call me home till then I'm roaming these grounds. A sacrificial lamb, who holding me down? I leave the house every day knowing I might not return. Committing sin and barely pray knowing my fate is to burn. They say I'm wise, but a wise man displays what he learned. Well, I guess I learned to hurt who I love. But when push come to shove, I know I got me. Survival of the fittest, when I'm done I might be top 3. Focus when you down and when you up, just don't get cocky. I go after what I want and dare a bitch to come and stop me. Ha! There's power in pain, learn that the hard way. Can't make me no slave, cause I pray to Yahweh. Walk into that darkness, fuck trying to save face. We all gotta die, do it my way. I'm by myself. Born alone, die alone, expecting nothing else. One set of footprints in the sand, expect no help. Had to learn to sacrifice my demons and myself. They took me through hell. Bitch, I'm by myself. Born alone, die alone, expecting nothing else. One set of footprints in the sand, expect no help. Had to learn to sacrifice my demons and myself. They took me through hell. Bitch, I'm by myself. That song was needed. That was something I needed to get out of my system. It was something that I had been feeling for my whole life. There's this song that Corey Guns made called Born Alone, Die Alone. That shit's old. And I liked that song, but I liked it more so because of the concept of what he was saying. Born alone, die alone. Cool song, right? But I like the concept of it. This is almost my rendition of that. It's just the same concept, different sound, different beat, different rapper, different verses, different lyrics, different hook, all that type of shit. But this song was needed for me to get out of my system. I feel like, specifically last year, but things that I've gone through my whole life, I found that attachment to people is a fleeting thing. There's only a few people that have been mainstays in my life, and I could probably count them on less than 10 fingers. People that have stuck around, people that have decided to stay in my life, people that almost like it's symbiotic, some people that I cannot be without almost. There's very few of those people. Anyone else, they've usually been here for seasons, which is cool. That's life. That's what I've come to learn that this shit is all about, man. We're all people living experiences, crossing paths with one another, dipping in and out of each other's lives to teach each other lessons. We're teaching each other lessons. We're serving as catalysts to learn something or to notice something or to get something done for the greater good, which is fate or something, whatever you believe in. But this is what I believe in. I believe we're all here as separate individuals, but we all make up one giant thing, and that thing might be called God. That thing might be called a collective consciousness. That thing might be called the universe. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me, but that's what I believe. And I believe we're all born alone, and we all gonna die alone. You can't take nobody with you, especially if you believe in, what you believe in what most people seem to believe in this country, at least, Christianity. There's a way that we all go. I don't necessarily believe in Christianity per se, but I believe in certain things from it, just like anything else. I've given myself to people that have not given me anything back, and people have given themselves to me, and sometimes people just go their separate ways. And last year in particular, I spent a lot of my year fighting depression, feeling like I'm ultimately on my motherfucking own, despite the efforts that I've made for that not to be the case. You know what I'm saying? Despite the efforts of me pouring into other people's lives, I feel like at the end of the day, I still ended up right here by myself. And it speaks to the need for us all to sort of get to know ourselves. And get acquainted and love ourselves in a way that would protect us from the spirit of loneliness or whatever you want to call it. Some people look at being alone. Some people look at seclusion as a death sentence, as a punishment. I do not. I've spent most of my life, adult and childhood, as a loner. I used to come home from work and just spend all my time by myself. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't trust easily, and I don't like people. I don't like people. Me being a musician and me being an engineer is the most social I've ever had to be, and I'm happy for it because it kind of brought me out of my shell in a lot of ways, and it's gotten me to be like I'm kind of known now a little bit because of my profession. But my makeup, who I am, I don't like people. I like being by myself because it's harder for me to disappoint myself. It isn't impossible. We can all disappoint ourselves. But you're not going to disappoint yourself at the rate or the frequency at which other people seem to. Because we all have our own agendas. We all have our own path. We all have our own destinations. We all have our own reasoning and purposes in this life. And I found that it's not even a good idea to get attached to most people because they're only here for a little while. And then you're right back to being by yourself. And if you don't take the time to get to know who you are, if you don't take the time to get to learn to love who you are, every time that you end up ultimately back by yourself, you're going to be fucked in the game. Learn how to love yourself so every time that you end up back by yourself, whether it's relationships, friendships, getting fired from a job, whatever it is, and you end up by yourself, if you've done the work to learn to love yourself and like yourself and respect yourself, you will be all right in those situations where you ain't got nobody but you. That's the end of my rant, man. I appreciate y'all for listening to all of this shit. Babylon 23, Rise and Fall on streaming platforms right now. Go listen to it. It's some great music, some great people behind the music. I mixed it all. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to use y'all music to express myself. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your music by mixing it or mastering it or editing it or whatever I did. And thank you for trusting me with that. See y'all niggas next year, I guess.